he will be getting ready for heat number 6. He's going to see David Hubbard, Sasha Specker, and Joe Clark. But currently, there is where we are right now with heat number 2 finished. Drew Anderson and Magno advancing on to round number 3. Mike Stewart and Amory Laverne, they're not done yet. They're going to advance on to round number 2. So, getting ready. Heat number 3 out in the water. You're going to see the 2012 Box Pro champ Ryan Hardy. But again, take a look at these scores on your screen. Really high scoring waves. 7.38, 7.48 is what Drew Anderson got in the middle of the heat, and that was enough for him to take that win. There we go. All right. With me now is Dave Winchester, but take a look from the slicksanddex.com water camera, water angle, Mike Stewart. Winnie, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you going?
I'm pretty good, ready to get this show underway. As we know, the swell is coming. We do have a little slow start in the morning. There are waves coming in, but swell is coming in as well. So, again, Dave Winchester, Manny V, bringing you the live feed. Look at this, out the back.
Who was that? That was my boitie. Wasn't it Mark McCarthy and Wyatt there?
Yes, it is.
That was a pretty deep sort of takeoff. I'm sure the heat just started, so he wanted to get one straight off the bat, but he's just a little bit deep to come over that shocky. But he's been surfing it quite a lot, and he's pretty good out there. And we've got, here we see Boitie C is really deep on that peak, and he just comes through, but that shocky's just a bit, hits him a bit there, and he loses some momentum. And he rides over the first one, but the second one was too heavy for him to come through.
And he was probably, I haven't seen many people being that deep. So Mark McCarthy's starting to push everybody a little deeper. Again, round number 3 out in the water. Round number 1, heat number 3 out in the water. We have Ryan Hardy in red, Mark McCarthy in white, Louis Finnegan in yellow, and Jacob Romero in blue. Manny V with David Winchester, a.k.a. Winnie. So give us your take on the conditions right now for this heat.
We've seen a few good waves, a few big flips that have been the good scorers, and a couple of barrels coming through. If you're really deep, like we saw that Mark one, if you came out of that, that would have been a good score. So the wind's actually cleaned up quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully we see some big boosts from last year's champ, Ryan Hardy, the local mayor.
Yep.
Pretty much the mayor of Margaret River, isn't he? He tells the wind when to go offshore and onshore. So
you see us looking in that direction. Well, what you don't see is we got a big, wide open view of the box, and it's unfortunately. I wish we could move the camera there so we can see it. And but we will be looking over there because we bodyboard. We want to see it. But again, Winnie, Ryan Hardy coming off the win last year, and he won pretty much every heat last year. What's he got to do to fend everybody off for another win here?
Well, I think Ryan, he's a really patient rider. He waits in his heats for a really long time, sometimes too long. And with these conditions out there, it is a little slow, but he knows the wave so well. So I'm just hoping he doesn't wait too long, because he really wants that best wave. But he's definitely going to be picky. He's not going to be scrapping on those inside ones. He's going to wait, and he knows which ones are good. And let's see what he's got. It's what everyone came to see, Ryan Hardy at the box. It's going to be, as you can see, they're just waiting out there, and there's not too much coming in. Look, all 4 riders sitting out there. Mark McCarthy got a 1.75 for that first wave, so he's actually in the front because Ryan Hardy in red is in second, equal with Louis Finnegan and Jacob Romero. Those guys are still waveless, so looks like Louis sitting the deepest, or maybe J-Rom. I'm not actually too sure. It looks like Louis out there, but you see all the guys in the channel. I'm not sure who that is. He's having a yarn, though, isn't he? Ben Veach, I think, in the channel.
Yeah, the riders were allowed to have board caddies in the channel, so just in case they lose a fin or lose their board or whatever, they have their caddy. Jeff Hubbard coming up next, heat number 4. Your thoughts on Hubby?
Oh, Hubby's amazing. He's going to be flipping out, doing inverts, whatever he wants out there. He's and you see his wax he's putting on there. His board actually rubbed up on my board at the pipe comp, and his wax got all over my slick. It's so sticky, his wax. It's like glue. I can't even get it off my slick. I was pretty over it.
So for the viewers out there watching right now, where exactly is he putting? I know you know, but for the guys who are watching, why put the wax in those areas?
You just really want it where your hands go. So you can see Hubby puts it on up the front there and down the side and on the rail. Here he goes. Hubby's going to show us where he puts his wax for you. Look at him. He puts it up that hand, that real sticky stuff. Ask him where he puts his sunscreen. All over. So that's for his backhand because he's going right at the box and also all over the elbow there and the right hand. That's where the sticky, gooey stuff is. Right there, you can see it. Yeah.
So
And look at that sunscreen spread. Look at that. Probably, look at the zinc. Good on him. Sun protection. Good on you, Jeff.
he wants to keep his long-lasting beauty to go into his
does.
50s.
He's coming fresh off a schoolboy haircut too, it looks like.
All right, here's a look of the judges area, way down at the point. They're situated as close as they can to the wave. They got the front angle looking right into the box. They got the best view for the judging right now. Those are the judges way down at the point. So we're gonna run as many heats as possible today to try to pop out. We might even be here till 5, 6 at night, so don't go anywhere. If you have to take a nap, go for it, but come back. We will be here on IBAWorldTour.com. And with me now is Dave Winchester. Who do you got in your heat? When you coming up? There you
Coming up in Heat 7 against Michael Novi, Alex Urunga, and Brad Hughes. So, yeah, it should be a pretty fun heat with the boys.
This is a non-elimination round, which means the first two riders, the first and second place riders, advance on to round number 3. They skip round number 2. Third and fourth place, those guys will compete in round number 2, and that's where you can go home early. The first 2 riders will advance on to round number 3 and compete with the guys that were in first and second. Whew, so we do have a little break in the action, Winnie. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Reflex Wetsuits, give us a lowdown. You're one of their team riders, and let everybody know what they're all about.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing wetsuits. I've been riding for them for a few years now, and yeah, just the quality of them has just been amazing. They're really warm and flexible, but right now there's a great offer. You can get a free springy with any steamer you buy. So, I mean, 2 for 1, that's pretty good.
How are they pulling that off?
I'm not too sure, winter and summer, put it all together.
Unreal. So there you go. 2 for the price of 1. Look at this, Mark McCarthy.
He's going to look for a little flip here, hopefully. He's just wanting that little kind of south peak to come in, but it just didn't come in. So I think that wave was just a little bit too small for it to come in. But he's trying to get busy, If he got a little flip there and got a 4 or a 5, he'd be pretty stoked because there's 8 minutes gone in this heat and there's only been 1 wave caught. So, yeah, he's just trying to get busy and trying to, in 4th priority, it didn't hurt him to catch that wave, so he'll be back out there, and there's still been no sets. So, and we see Mitch Rawlings getting ready for the next heat. Hopefully we can see his wax job.
Mike Stewart coming in from his heat. He was out there in the yellow jersey, and I believe
Ryan Hardy here, he goes out the back.
Here we go.
Little flip, pulls under the curtain, flips out. That's a nice little starter for Ryan. I mean, it's the best wave of the heat so far. So that local knowledge, he's getting busy, isn't he?
That was what you were talking about that earlier. Pulling into the barrel, coming out with a big move. And let's take another look on the Reflex replay.
He stalls so well with his legs on that takeoff. Just gets under the curtain. A nice, clean little flip. You can just see, keeps his legs up and just rides out of that nicely. It's going to be tough with this wind being pretty offshore. You just got to make sure that on those smaller flips you don't catch your tail. He goes Boity on the inside one, Mark McCarthy, and he does the same. There's this signature move, isn't it? That big ARS out of the bowl.
So talk to us about that section right there. It's either going to pinch on you or it's going to give you the biggest ramp that you can have out there.
Yeah, there's a few different sections to the wave. There's obviously, they're almost surfing on the inside. Here goes Mark. It's actually on the end, it's called Mr. Lippy. So here he goes. He just gets up to it, but it throws him out perfectly and he gets a nice clean flip. You just see him kind of bounce around on the tail there. And you saw he kept his legs up there so you don't bog that tail. Ryan Hardy sniffing on this inside one. No, he doesn't want it.
All right, so currently out in the water, ladies and gentlemen, you have Jacob Romero in the blue jersey and Louis Finnegan in yellow up and riding.
Here goes Louis on the inside one. He'd been waiting a while for this one. Just gets a kind of sloppy little roll on the end. Louis surfs his wave a lot. He's actually from Perth, up at Mandurah, so comes down here a lot with all his mates. And
He's like one of those super groms that we're going to see a lot more through, for years to come.
yeah, he came over to Hawaii and got a nice 10 in the comp this year, so a nice backdoor barrel. So he's definitely going to be a threat in the future, that's for sure. He surfs out the box a lot, so I was pretty shocked to see him actually take that last wave. But as you see, his long hair there, like all the Groms have. So he's only 17 years old. So I mean, look at him. Nice, charming smile there, Louis. I'd actually had him stay with me down the south coast for a while, and I was pretty shocked when he was about 15. I was pretty shocked to see actually how good he surfs. So hopefully he gets a few bombs in this heat and show us what he's got.
Give us that outlook. I know all the top riders are always looking at the swell forecast, looking at the swell charts. What's in store for the next few days?
Tomorrow looks like it'll be another day at box. I mean, hopefully that front doesn't come in too soon, but then just the swell gets massive. So here we go. I think we got some action out the back, and this is a nice little clean flip. He kind of got stuck up in that a little bit. That was Louis again. He's just trying to get busy as there hasn't been too many sets. So who's this? J-Rom out the back on a smoker. Big flip into the pit.
Lands into the barrel. Can he push through that?
It's going to be tough. That wind blowing into him. I don't know if that will be a make. I'm not too sure. I'm not a judge. So here goes Ryan Hardy out the back. A nice, clean invert. See, he just extends those arms, those big, long arms of his. And it's just so smooth. Oh, look at him milking it all the way.
We've seen Mike Stewart milking a few waves in an earlier heat, the previous heat, and Ryan Hardy doing a little bit of milking himself on the inside.
If you milk a couple of spins in there, you're going to get a 0.5 extra, and these heats are going to be so tight. So if you're getting that 0.5, it can be a matter of going through or not going through. So I think it's probably worth it. It's good strategy.
All right, taking another look on the reflex replay, Jacob Romero.
J-Rom on the best wave of the day. He just comes out of that bowl, hits it so clean, big flip, and he comes around almost forward, chucks his legs in, but then he just gets caught in the barrel, and it's just too hard to ride out of that. I'm not too sure what the judges are going to call. They're judging from the land.
Well, he did land. And
he landed, but as you see, Ryan Hardy just gliding through this. Smooth as butter, isn't it? Just times it perfect, extends those arms, holds it for quite long, and then after that you see him milking a few spins on the way through, trying to get those extra 0.5s. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with J-Rom on this one, because that was easily the best wave of the heat and easily the biggest flip we've seen in this heat. So see Mark McCarthy's in first. He's got a 1.75 and a 6.53. Ryan Hardy's in second with a 5.63, but obviously we're waiting on scores. Louis Finnegan's caught a couple of small inside waves, but he's going to need to do something a bit bigger and better. And Jacob Romero, as we saw, we're still waiting on that score. He's in fourth, but he's got maybe a big score coming. I'm not too sure. It'll be a tough one for the judges, this one.
So we're going to try to run, again, we're going to try to run as many heats as possible, and the tide is coming up. How is that going to affect what we're going to see later today?
Well, I surfed out there yesterday morning, and it definitely slowed it down quite a lot. There was longer waits. There was still some bomb sets, but it's just those little inside ones don't break as much. So it's going to be tougher for the guys in those later heats, I think.
All right, I think we do have the winner from the last heat with Shaggy. Shaggy, where you at, brother?
Hey guys, I'm outside here with Drew Innocent. Drew, congratulations! Haven't seen you since Hawaii. What you been up to?
Not much. Just at home, working a little bit and surfing the pretty pathetic waves that we had since Hawaii. Now I'm over here and kind of pack my bags and hopefully find something to do over here and get away from the East Coast.
A little hard to get a bit of motivation after those 10-point rides you were getting in Hawaii, huh?
It's a 9.5.
Near as enough, eh?
No, yeah, it was sick. Like, Hawaii was amazing. Best waves I've ever seen and best waves I've been in for a comp. And now to come over here and, like, I haven't surfed box before, and out there I was kind of freaking out. I caught probably the most amount of waves about everyone, and half of them are pretty shocking.
Maybe you got a 10 in wave count, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Pretty close, I think.
Well, congratulations. You won the first heat, or your second heat, first heat of the day, second heat of the round one.
Pretty happy, yeah. Like I was pretty freaking out because I had Mike and Amory and Magno, and they were like kind of like seasoned competitors, and I was just like this kind of like little peasant rookie. So I was doing what I can to get through, and I can hear everyone laughing behind me.
Well, that's great, mate. And congratulations, and back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Drew Innocent, he's pretty pumped right now. Moving on to advancing on to round number 3, bypassing round number 2. So first and second in these first round heats go on to round number 3. Third and fourth, we'll battle it out in round number 2. Out in the water, who do we got? Winnie.
Louis Finnegan, the little 17-year-old, and a nice clean flip out of
Nice.
that. He's just really trying to get busy because there aren't too many big sets, so no one's getting too picky here. And hopefully we can see those scores come through for J-Rom, Louis, and Ryan, because I think it's going to change the positions on this heat.
Once again, well, yeah,
Mark McCarthy, he's just had that one good flip, and he's just sitting out the back waiting in first priority, I'm assuming.
well, he does have some time. These are 40-minute heats, 4-man heats in this first round, and we do have 24 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in this heat. Once again, welcome everybody. This is the 2012 IBA Box Pro, brought to you by Reflex Wetsuits, Freedom Fins, Bodyboard King, Slicks and Decks, Riptide, and with our media partners, YouTube and IINet. Sasha Specker with the orange jersey on his head. He made it through the trials. We're going to see him later on in heat number 6 with fellow South African Jared Houston. So Sasha, he is the photographer on the IBA World Tour, so he's got to work and compete. He's got his hands full.
I know. I wonder if he's going to shoot his own heat. Set the camera up on a board or something, or have a GoPro on his board.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see when heat 6 rolls around.
So we've had a few scores through. Ryan Hardy in first with a 5.7 and a 5.63. Louis on a nice inside windy one, but big clean flip.
Nice.
He was actually in second place. He's had 2 5-point-somethings. I didn't actually get to see that. It was pretty quick. But he was in second place, and Mark McCarthy just gets a roll out of that one. But Jacob Romero did get a 7.25, and here he's up again on his second wave. A nice, clean little bowl here. Should get a big flip out of that again. Chucks his legs in, whips it round. J-Rom, you'd have to say that would put him all the way into first, I'm assuming, with that first one getting a 7.25.
All right, Jacob Romero, this wave is just catering to what he likes to do, and that's just hitting that end bowl section and just going upside down, up and riding in red. Ryan Hardy.
Ryan Hardy, the Loke dog, big clean flip again. Gosh, it's going to be tough. Everyone's doing these flips every single wave, so it's going to come really close at the end of this heat. We've still got 22 minutes remaining, so you might find the guys get a little bit more picky now.
I've said it before. We do have the best riders on the tour, and we do have the best judges, but I would not want to be a judge judging this. I mean, they have the hardest job on the beach.
Yeah, they do. Mark McCarthy there, he wanted to get a bit better bowl than that. It just kind of foamed in on him. He didn't get it clean. He just got one roll. And Jacob just goes bang out of that bowl. And, I mean, that's what the judges like, big, clean manoeuvres. So Jacob, I'd say, definitely is going to go to first, from fourth to first on that one.
All right, waiting for the scores to drop on our scorecard. There's, you can see the 2 jet skis. The jet ski on your left, that is Chris White on the driver's seat with Seamus Makem, bringing you the slicksanddex.com water angle up and riding.
Louis Finnegan, again, he's going to get a nice little flip out of that. So I think the judges are going to want to see something different after this if they've seen so many flips. So if one of them gets a big invert or something else, a big reverse or a big forward air,
Variation.
But you definitely say that Jacob has had the 2 biggest flips of this heat. There he is, the beard and the bald head.
Fu Manchu action
Yeah.
right there. He's pretty intimidating, but let me tell you what, this guy is probably one of the most mellow guys that you'll come across on the tour.
Yeah, he's super cruisy, and he just loves doing those big flips out of those bowls out box, doesn't he?
Yeah, so we saw a sign down the beach. Luckily, the competitors didn't have to walk by it, but there was a shark sighting out here just a couple days ago, or was it yesterday?
Yeah, here we see Louis on a nice little inside sort of bowl. It just bowls up nicely. He gets cleanly out and just throws it over into a flip. You just want to try to throw your legs in at the end, then ride out of it, because you see the wave starts to die out pretty quickly. So he's going to show us some big stuff in the future, I think, Louis.
So if you want to avoid that question that I asked earlier, no problem.
Oh, the sharks. Yeah. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, we had an issue on a couple of stops last year, but I mean, this is Mother Nature, and I think this whole area, you're in the great, out. I don't want to say outback, but you're out in the country, and the Indian Ocean is alive. So, well, from what I hear, this particular shark gets spotted all the time and not bothering anybody.
Yeah, we're down in the southwest corner of WA, so I mean, there's going to be sharks here, and it's just if someone saw it, they saw it, but they're always around.
Wow, look at this. Okay, we're going to talk to you quickly on this frame by frame. Gracetown, give us a lowdown on what you know about this beautiful town.
Gracetown's a nice little town, about say 20 minutes away from Margaret River, and it's just got it's got a couple of waves in there, North Point and South Point, and I mean, as you can see, it's a beautiful little bay there, and people swim in summer off the little pontoons. There's a nice little beach. And yeah, it's just an incredible wave, and that's where fishermen hide their 2 boats. There you go, swimming in summer. The water's pretty warm down here now.
Wow, look at that.
So, yeah, it's beautiful little part, isn't it?
So a lot of snorkeling opportunities out there. What are they going to see underwater here?
They'd see quite a few fish and stuff. It's pretty seaweedy, but the reef, yeah, there'd be maybe a shark, a great white. Nah, hopefully not.
Well, it looked like those groms weren't worried on the pontoon, but here we are. Heat number 3, round number 1, currently out in the water with 18 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. Where are we at?
As we saw, we're waiting on that score for Jacob Romero. He's jumped into first with a 6.1 for that second flip. Louis Finnegan is actually in second on 11.98. Mike McCarthy in third on 11.66. And Ryan Hardy on fourth on 11.33. This is so tight. So Ryan milking those, getting those 0.5s on the end of the wave is worth it. So if he gets a big flip, I'm sure you'll see him milk those couple of spins on the end because he needs a 6.28 to get into first. To get into second, but Louis getting a nice clean roll out of that. Louis really getting busy out there. I think he just wants to keep that momentum going. He's in second, but he's still going to need a pretty high score to jump J-Rom into first, I think.
Well, we have a pretty cool format, and exciting format underway right now. We do have the first 6 rounds, I believe, are geared towards elimination rounds and non-elimination rounds. And this first round is a non-elimination round, which means nobody's going to get kicked out or knocked out of the event. In fact, you will be rewarded for first and second place. You will skip and bypass round number 2, and third and fourth will compete in round number 2. They will all meet up again in round number 3. So take a look.
Next heat's coming up next. It should be a cracker as well. J-Rom on just a pretty average little wave there. He just didn't, that south bit didn't come in, so he didn't get a little ramp. But he's all right. He's in first. He needs a bit better. He's 6.1 if he wants to go further in the lead. So I think if it was me out there in the heat, I'd just wait. Just take your time, and you've got 2 pretty good scores, and the other guys need scores, so just try and get priority number 1 and wait for that one bomb. He's 17 minutes remaining, sorry. So,
but it can be a little nerve-wracking if you wait and wait and wait, and time winds down. What do you do in those situations?
Yeah, it is pretty tough. It's kind of hard to protect your lead, but harder for the guys to get you. You think it's hard at the time, but it's definitely harder for the guys coming from behind. So he's just got to wait, but he's on this end bowl one. It looks like it's going to stand up nicely. Those other guys were out of position, but no, it just went a bit quick for him there. But especially with these waves, you think it's going to be a small sort of average wave, but then it just jacks up and it can have a good bowl. So it is hard to know. You just sort of got to catch a lot of waves and test it out, I guess.
Well, you spent some time out at the box. How difficult is this wave, let's say, compared to a beachy, at your local home break? Talk to us about the box.
Yeah, the box, I lived here over in Western Australia for a couple of years when I was younger, and we surfed the box a lot, and I got to know it pretty well. You just sort of, depending on which swell directions and things like that. But when it's smaller like this, it is pretty hard. It gets a really shallow inside bit, and so that's almost where they're surfing right now, almost the end bowl of when it's a bit bigger. So obviously when it was bigger, you'd be sitting out a little bit further out to sea, sort of in the same direction, just straight out a bit more and a little bit deeper. But as we know, that tide's coming in, so it's pushing it actually onto the inside of the reef. But we see the boys just waiting there. They're waiting for the big set. So Looks like Liam O'Toole there went in the trial. He's going out to shoot Mitch Rawlings and
I didn't even
Chase
recognize
O'Leary.
Chase. He's pumped.
He is. I'm sure this is his first year on tour. He qualified last year, and I'm sure he wants to get a good result here and yeah, so he can continue the world tour. Dream.
Yes. Liam O'Toole. I didn't even recognize him with his beard.
Yeah.
How long has he had that thing?
He's had it for a few years now. He kind of grows it long, then cuts it a bit. Someone's looking at this one, Mark McCarthy. Ryan let that one go, but looks like he's going to get a nice little bowl here, and his big trademark flip there for the Boity.
Mark McCarthy's nickname.
Yeah, follow my Boity is the Twitter, I think.
Follow my Boity. How do you spell it?
Boetie, I think.
Yeah. That's it. Boity,
Yeah.
Mark McCarthy. And what's the history on that? I mean, where did that come from?
I'm pretty sure Boity means brother.
Okay.
So in Afrikaans, maybe. I'm not 100% on that. There we see the next heat. Jeff Hubbard in red, Mitch Rawlings in white, Chase O'Leary in yellow,
my.
and Nico he's maybe down. He's running up. You see him running up there in his long arm spring. He'll be in blue. He's going to go get his Rashi.
How stacked is this heat? This could be a final in itself. This is going to be a pretty amazing heat to watch. That's coming up next. We have about 14 minutes remaining. Currently leading the charge in heat number 3, Jacob Romero in the blue jersey. Louis Finnegan, the young Grom, is in second place. Mark McCarthy in white in third. And in white, Ryan Hardy. So Ryan Hardy, again, nobody's getting knocked out. Here's another look on the reflex replay of Mark McCarthy's last wave.
Mark McCarthy just got a little cover up there, and then it wasn't too much on the end. I think we got the wrong wave then, but J-Rom on another little inside nugget. Look how clean this wave. It's going to bowl up nicely, and as you see, big flip again.
Wow.
That would probably be better than his second flip, I'd say.
He makes it look so easy.
I know. Just stamping it, isn't he? They all are.
Yep.
But I think Mark McCarthy on that last big flip, you'll see him going to second, maybe first. He needed a 6.83 to go to first, a 5.45 to go to second. So he's definitely going to go to second, I'd say, but maybe not first. There you go, Mitch Rawlings going down for his heat. I'm sure he'll be pretty pumped to get out there and get some good waves. Gets pretty angry if he doesn't have a good heat. So he gets angry if he has a good heat. Ryan Hardy, deep barrel. Can he thread that? He can.
My.
There's some local knowledge, isn't it?
Ryan Hardy pulling in deep. I mean, he's capable of just doing it all over again, winning every single heat. I mean, this is his home turf. And if there's anybody who knows the box, it's going to be this guy.
As you see, he took off really deep here, and you see him drag those legs, slide into that. He'll get a little shocky here, and just that foam over, but he's able to thread over that. And I think the judges will like that, because from land it would have looked like he wasn't going to make it, and he kind of backdoored it. So that should be a pretty good score. He's in 4th place right now, and he's needing... It's pretty tight, but he still needs a pretty good score to go into first. So he was needing a 7.65 to go to first, a 6.28 to go to second, but that was before Mark McCarthy got that other big flip. So it is going to be tight. As we said, that's why the guys were milking those 0.5s on the end, doing a couple of spins, trying to get there, because it was going to be really close. See all the boys stretching for their next heat. Liam O'Toole going out to shoot Mitch, I'm guessing.
Could be his board caddy as well. Who
Yeah.
knows? So there you have it. Coming up next, heat number 4, Jeff Hubbard stretching on the beach. One of the most flexible riders on the tour in the red jersey. Mitch Rawlings in white. By far one of the guys to watch on this tour. Mitch Rawlings, he will definitely surprise you when it comes to, massive big waves. He is definitely one to watch. Chase O'Leary also joining in. And yes, rounding off is Nick Omeron. That's coming up next. Here's a look from the competitors area. Everybody's tuning in live right there. They have their screen up in the competitors area. What kind of vibe is going on in the competitors area?
I guess the guys who haven't surfed are a little bit on edge, and you see the boys out there back waiting. But yeah, the guys who have surfed are kind of cruising if they had a good one, and everyone's sort of chilling, just enjoying it, just waiting to see the next bomb come through.
All right. So mentally, how hard is it out there when you have 4 guys on one wave, 40 minutes, and knowing that you need at least 2 solid waves to advance on?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, Ryan Hardy then was in 4th, and he's just got a 7.13, and he's climbed into 3rd, but not to second. Mark McCarthy got a 6.5 6-3 for that big flip. So he's actually gone into second place. J. Rum's still out in the front. And Louis Finnegan has gone from second to fourth in a matter of 2 waves, really.
So Louis Finnegan, we're still waiting for Louis' 7th wave to come down the pipeline. So, I mean, it's still possible for him to creep up back into the first, second, or third spot. So standing by for Louis' last wave to roll in. And there it is. Comes in at a 5.0. It's not enough. He's going to sit tight at 4th place. Ryan Hardy in 3rd. Mark in 2nd. And Jacob in the blue jersey will be still sitting in 1st place. So once again, welcome everybody. This is the 2012 IBA Box Pro, brought to you by Reflex Wetsuits, Freedom Fins, Bodyboard King, Slicks and Decks, Riptide, and our media partners, YouTube and IINet. Delivering the goods. IINet, we have a pretty solid web connection here, so we're stoked on that.
Yeah, no, it's great. We watched it at home before the first heat. And, yeah, it's just streaming perfect. So, no, it's good to see we get some solid net going.
There's actually a 26-minute documentary on IINet right now I believe it is, let me pull that up just to make sure I give you the right web address. So there's an awesome 2011 IBA Box Pro documentary, 26 minutes long. It's pretty insane. You can go to freezone.iinet.au and click around, go to their channels, and you'll see bodyboarding. Click on that. 26 minutes of pretty awesome, high quality, legit documentary from last year's event, and the Snakes and Ladders crew putting together a solid documentary.
Yeah, the boys have been doing a good job all year, and you see them back on board again this year, so it's pretty exciting. You saw Todd Barnes there filming, putting his hands up. All the boys in the competitors area there, just having a laugh on the couch. Riggers and Dallas in there, throwing their hands up. A few photos getting taken. You see Billiams in the back there. All the boys.
Nice, nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, currently out in the water, we do have heat number 3, round number 1. 8 minutes remaining. Again, Louis Finnegan looking for a 7.11 to get into that 2nd place spot. Ryan Hardy looking for a 6.03. Mark McCarthy is looking all right, but to get that 1st place spot away from Jacob Romero, he needs a 6.96. Again, top 2 riders bypassing round number 2 and going straight into round number 3. 3rd and 4th, they're not get kicked out or knocked out of the event. They will actually go into round number 2 for a 2nd chance to stay in the event. Round number 2, yes, that is an elimination round. So if you come in 4th place or 3rd place in round number 2, your event is finished.
Yeah, I wouldn't really like to go into that round 2. It's a bit of a pressure cooker heat.
Yes, it
sort of
is.
make or break, but if it happens, you just got to pull out your bag of tricks and hopefully advance out of that one. But so at the end of today, we might see, if we've got time, we might see 8 guys out of the competition.
Yeah, we're going to keep rolling all the way through until the sun sets here today in Margaret River for the 2012 Box Pro. If you miss the early rounds, no worries. We're going to be here pretty much all day. So tons of action, tons of bodyboard action going down for the 2012 Box Pro. Look at this, paddle battle out the back. It looks like Louis Finnegan in yellow. Taking a look at this one.
He just takes off on the end of that one. It's going to bowl up again. He gets another flip out of that. That one probably won't fall into his top 2. His other 2 flips were a bit cleaner than that. And it just sort of foamed a little bit on the end there. So Louis is going to want to get back out there. And he was in 2nd that whole heat till about 2 or 3 minutes ago. So it's probably about 6 minutes left on the clock now. 6 minutes, 25 seconds. So I dare say he probably won't get another set because he's in 4th priority unless the Ocean Pulses. It probably will for the mare, though. Ryan Hardy will tell us set to come in right now when he needs it.
Exactly. You have 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Give us a lowdown on the 4-man priority.
Well, 4-man priority works. Whoever is in priority can have that wave. So I think it might be J-Rom in priority right now. He's just waiting. He's in 1st. He's got priority, so he's just waiting for that good wave, and it works 2nd, 3rd, and 4th priority. So it looks like Ryan Hardy would have 2nd priority there. Mark McCarthy 3rd. So if one of those guys ahead of you want to catch a wave, they can, and you can't. So Louis is 4th to wait. You just got to wait your turn, mate.
So if you have priority and somebody drops in on you, obviously penalty. But if you have priority and you drop in on somebody behind you, No penalty because you do have the priority card in your pocket.
Yeah, so if J-Ron wants to catch any wave, no matter where he's sitting on that reef, he can go it. If someone takes off 20 meters deeper than him, and he's like, well, I've got first priority, I want this wave, he can go. And so that other person has to pull off or bail or get smashed on the rocks, do whatever.
Here's another look right now of the judges' scaffolding. They're way down on the beach, way at the point to get the best view of the box. They're looking straight on at the box. So their angle, a little bit different than ours. We're looking into the barrel. They're looking straight on into the barrel. Some of the backdoor sections will look actually deeper and longer from their view compared to ours. Look at this, 2011 World Tour champion PLC, the Frenchman. He's on a roll right now.
Yeah, the end of last year, he was just almost unbeatable. He just was so consistent, and I mean, he deserved to be world champ. So good on him, and we'll see him. We'll see him get some big backflips out here. He loves the backflips, so
Yes, he does.
he'll be all over it.
All right, taking a look again, Louis Finnegan taking a look at the smaller one. Again, he doesn't have priority, so he's going to take what comes through, little scraps, little waves here and there. But the other guy's waiting patiently with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in heat number 3. So coming up, heat number 4, Jeff Hubbard, Mitch Rollins, Chase O'Leary, and Nick Omeron. That heat is stacked.
Yeah, it surely is. That's a really tough one. So I'd
know what?
love to see who gets first wave out of that one.
I looked at this the draw last night, and I can't believe just they're all intense. Every single heat in the first round are all stacked. I mean, just looking at the last heat, well, take a look at this guy right here, Jake Stone. I just saw his trailer just the other day, and pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on his trailer?
Yeah, he was doing some pretty good rapping, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Shout out.
Yeah,
So Jake
no.
Stone, if you haven't seen it, I think it's on YouTube. So just
Yeah, it is, yeah.
look it up on YouTube. Jake Stone, bodyboarder, and it was for his trailer. So take a look it up, and I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Jake Stone's rapping skills? I think they're insane.
Yeah, I want you to write some comments. Tell us what you think about it. It's pretty funny.
So how's your rapping skills?
Oh, terrible. I'm shocking. Can't even remember song lyrics.
So no
bad.
karaoke bars for you?
Nah, none for me, mate.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Manny V and Dave Winchester bringing you the live feed from the 2012 Box Pro here in beautiful Margaret River on the west coast of Australia. Currently out in the water. Round number 1, heat number 3. Jacob Romero in the blue jersey leading the charge. He advanced on out of the trials. Mark McCarthy in the white jersey, hot on his heels. Ryan Hardy in third. Louis Finnegan in yellow. Jet ski coming in, picking up the competitors to take them back out to the lineup. That guy's going to be pretty dizzy by the end of the day.
Yeah, he is just in and out. I'd love to see how many Ks he does on the jet ski at the end of the day.
Well, hopefully he's got a second spare gas tank in there.
Yeah.
Jeff Hubbard in the red jersey, waiting patiently. And in the yellow jersey, coming up next as well, that is Chase O'Leary.
Oh, it's going to be a cracker, isn't it? Looks like there's some sets coming. I'm just looking out the window now. So looks like there's a couple of waves peeking up in his last minute and a half for this heat. So is Ryan Hardy. Can he pull it out? He's in third. He needs something. Mark McCarthy looking at this one.
Nice.
Oh, it looks nice. There's one after this too. Oh, it's a nice
this is
clean
clean.
hit. Oh, little jack
what
in the
happened
box.
right there? I mean, he was trying to avoid the chop inside, and he pulled through that first chop, but then there was another one.
Yeah, it just sort of ledged up that wave. So he kind of rode over that first ledge, which he didn't think he was going to, but then he was really, really high in that barrel for the next bit. And then, so that just, as you saw, he was just too high in the barrel and it just put him through that old jack in the box.
Let's take another look on the reflex replay.
Probably the nicest barrel of the whole heat. And you just see he goes over this first ledge, but it really, really high. So he drops down off the shocky, but then that just puts him straight up into the roof. So it was a really tough wave to ride, but he's still in second place. So I wonder if Ryan can get one in this last minute. He's in third and he needs a 6.46 to go to first and 6.03 to go to second. So could see Ryan Hardy at the end of this day in the round 2 elimination round. So it's not really where Ryan wanted to be or anyone else wants to be, but If he's there, he's going to have to pull out something special. So J-Rom still in the lead with a 13.58. Mark McCarthy in second, or 13.16. Ryan Hardy in red is in third with a 12.83. And Louis Finnegan in fourth, 11.98. The Grommet. Looks like there's a little wave out the back there coming. Ryan is going to go. There's not long left. He's got priority. No, he's going left.
What?
He's going left. Looked like he's getting up drop knee then or something.
I think they must have heard the horn and ended the heat, so they all went for it. So no penalties were going to happen on that wave. That is the end of the heat. Give us the rundown one more time.
So J-Rom in blue was in first. Mark McCarthy in white was in second. Ryan Hardy third in red. And Louis Finnegan, the youngster, in fourth. So back to the drawing board for Ryan Hardy and Louis Finnegan.
All right, so they do have a second chance. Round number 2. You're going to see them again compete against fellow third and fourth place riders in these first rounds. First and second, advancing on to round number 3. So Jacob Romero, Mark McCarthy, we're not going to see them for a while now. So Jake Romero, he is stoked.